A new report by the Better Business Bureau says sweepstakes, lottery, and prize schemes are devastating victims financially and emotionally with ever-evolving methods. These frauds are targeting people through the mail, through social media, and through pop-up ads. John Akil is here from the Better Business Bureau with more information on these frauds. Okay, so just like everything else, it's always constantly changing. They're trying to find new ways to dupe us, right? So
Absolutely.
what are the newest ones?
Well,
what's happening?
In particular, this study is really targeting information about this fraud that gets a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So we're seeing that seniors are more targeted more often, and so this study found that more than 50% of the victims were indeed seniors over the age of 60 or 65. So many of them in their 70s. This happens because they may have had maybe a life-changing event where they may have had a death of one of the spouses, or they had to move somewhere in a facility, and so they're afraid and they want to make sure that they're financially secure in the future, and these sweepstakes scams promise that, but what they really do is take your money.
Okay, so there's some key findings that there are encouragements from this study, right? Take us through some of those.
So one of the key findings, you know, again, it is seniors that are targeted a lot of the times, and although anyone can be a victim, anybody that, of course, is willing to give money to this scam. So we want people to be really aware of that and not send their money to these types of scams. Another thing is that social media is being used now. So they have found that social media is being used to help perpetrate these scams, even to the point where social media users will also say, well, they may pretend they're someone else on social media so that they can get you to respond and have this type of conversation with you about sweepstakes.
I mean, the biggest thing is just under no circumstance do you give money over the internet, over the phone. Do you give your checking account information?
And we find that a lot of people do know this, especially seniors, but they are just willing to take that chance because they think maybe they would win the millions of dollars, or they're willing to give up a little bit of money at first to see if they would not win the big prize. Now, one of the things in the study that encouraged stricter law enforcement in certain places in the world, right? Absolutely. So they have found that in Nigeria and Jamaica, there's an abundance of these types of sweepstakes scams that are perpetrating, and a lot of that is because they have found in Jamaica there's an English-speaking population. There are a lot of good jobs, but there are people also that are looking for work, and they just target U.S. citizens thinking that they're going to be so much more lucrative. They've heard about the scams being lucrative. Right. You know, when you support a scam from this country, that's what you're doing. You're just supporting that type of business in those foreign countries where people just keep doing what they're doing.
Okay, well, we're going to put all the information from this study over on myhighplains.com. I think it's really interesting. But just knowledge is power, right, when it comes to this kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, of course. We always say don't send this money, but go to this website, go to the links, and make sure that you read this study so that you can help your friends, your neighbors, your parents, your grandparents, to make sure that they don't give their money. The education is the one thing that we want to put out there to make sure that people know not to do this or to call the BBB before they do that, because we are always out there trying to save people money and trying to curb this type of fraud.
Very good, John Akil. We appreciate the work that
My
you guys
pleasure.
do.
Thank you.
All right, stick around, everybody. We've got to look at news and weather headlines after this short break.